Ladies and gentlemen, Indian politicians say the darnest things. At a time when the Yogi government is facing a volley of questions over the stampede at the Mahakumbh, especially over the death toll of 30, BJP MP Hema Malini has gone right ahead and made it worse for the BJP. Today in Parliament, when questioned about the tragedy, the MP from Mathura said that she was there in Prayagraj on the day of the stampede and that it was not such a big deal, that the opposition is simply exaggerating it. Hear it for yourself.
पक्ष वो जो बोलेंगे उनका काम है वो कहना, तो उल्टा गलत बोलना। I mean, हम कुंभ में गए थे, we had a very nice path, बहुत अच्छा सब कुछ हुआ, बट ये इंसिडेंट हुआ था which is right, बट इतना बड़ा ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ था लेकिन वो कितना बड़ा है क्या है वो मुझे नहीं मालूम है, बट वेरी वेल मैनेज्ड, एवरीथिंग वाज डन वेरी वेल। मैम उसे ज्यादा एग्जैजरेट किया जा रहा है, अभी बहुत अच्छा संभाल रहे हैं। I mean, आफ्टर दिस इंसिडेंट, और बहुत पहले से भी अच्छा था, बट इतने लोग आ रहे हैं ना, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू मैनेज, बट स्टिल वी आर डूइंग द बेस्ट।
Now, the timing of that statement couldn't have been worse. The Prime Minister is headed for Prayagraj tomorrow. He'll be taking a dip there at about 11 o'clock. And the opposition, led by the Samajwadi Party, has been repeatedly raising the issue in Parliament, saying that the Yogi government is fudging the death toll to save itself the blushes. In fact, Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress went ahead and demanded clarity from the government whether 30 people were killed or 1,000 people were killed.
जहां इंतजाम होना चाहिए था वहां प्रचार हो रहा था। इतने बड़े हादसे के बाद कम से कम अब तो वो होर्डिंग उतरवा देना चाहिए कि पहली बार धरती पर इस तरह का डिजिटल और जो आधुनिक चीजें हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी, उसका इस्तेमाल कर करके महाकुंभ होने जा रहा है। सीसीटीवी, ड्रोन, लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग के आधार पर जिनका दावा था कि वो डिजिटल कुंभ करा रहे हैं, वो मृतकों की डिजिट नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। एक तरफ तो जो लोग डिजिटल अध्यक्ष महोदय कहने को थकते नहीं हैं, लेकिन जब कुंभ में इतना बड़ा हादसा हो गया है तो यही सरकार डिजिट नहीं दे पा रही है।
सबसे ज्यादा कंटामिनेटेड वाटर इस वक्त कहाँ है? कुंभ में है। उसके लिए कोई सफाई नहीं दे रहे। बॉडीज जो पानी में डाल दी गई हैं, उससे पानी कंटामिनेट हुआ। यही पानी जो है लोगों तक पहुंच रहा है वहां। इसके ऊपर कोई सफाई नहीं दे रहे हैं और पूरा आई वॉश किया जा रहा है और सवाल उठा रहे हैं, खुद ही सवाल उठाते हैं, खुद ही जवाब दे रहे हैं। जो असली मुद्दे हैं इस देश के, जो कमजोर तबके के लोग हैं, जिनको कोई वीआईपी ट्रीटमेंट नहीं मिलता है। वीआईपी चले जाते हैं कुंभ में, नहाते हैं, उनको स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट मिलता है, उनकी तस्वीरें होती हैं, नेक्स्ट दिन आप लोग सब छापते हैं, दिखाते हैं। मगर जिन लोगों, जो गरीब लोग, जो आम आदमी हैं, उनके लिए कोई सपोर्ट नहीं है, कोई अरेंजमेंट नहीं है और झूठ बोल रहे हैं। और कितने करोड़ बोल रहे हैं? इतने करोड़ लोग वहां आएंगे कैसे? झूठ बोल रहे हैं।
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is not taking the charges lying down and says the Samajwadi Party and the Congress have taken a supari against Sanatana Dharma.
इनका ये बयान न केवल सनातन धर्म पर प्रहार है, बल्कि निंदनीय भी है। कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष का यह कहना कि प्रयागराज कुंभ में मौनी अमावस्या के दिन हजारों लोग मर गए, ऐसे ही समाजवादी पार्टी के अध्यक्ष का बयान, एक प्रतिस्पर्धा दोनों दलों में है, कौन कितना सनातन विरोधी वक्तव्य दे सके। एक घटना घटित हुई, लेकिन जितने क्विक रिस्पांस से प्रशासन ने और सभी संबंधित संस्थाओं ने कार्य लेकर के उन्हें हॉस्पिटलाइज किया, उसमें कुछ लोग उस हादसे के शिकार हुए, वह दुखद है। उन सभी परिवारों के प्रति हम लोगों ने अपनी संवेदना भी व्यक्त की और उसके लिए कुछ आर्थिक मुआवजा भी घोषित किया।
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45-day Kumbh ends on 26th of January, and the estimate is that by then 40 crore people would have come to Prayagraj for a dip. That is more than the population of the United States of America. On Mauni Amavasya, the day the stampede took place, 7.5 crore people passed through the Kumbh. Is the opposition exaggerating the numbers, or is the Yogi government hiding the real death toll? My guests are debating that this evening. This is going to be a 12-minute debate, so I'm going to request my guests to keep their statements short, make their point very quickly. Thank you all very much. Karan Verma continues to be with us. Jasmine Sandwalia, spokesperson of the BJP. Tehseen Poonawala continues to be with us. Faizan Kidwai is national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Faizan ji, I'm coming to you first, since it's the Samajwadi Party that is leading the charge in Parliament against the Yogi government. If the government of Uttar Pradesh has officially stepped out, and the Chief Minister is saying that 30 people have died in the stampede, why are you saying they are fudging the numbers? On what basis are you saying that they are fudging the numbers?
Good evening, Shreya. Good evening to you and to the fellow panelists. See, Mr. Adityanath made a claim that only 30 people have died. There have been sting operations. I have them, but I won't play here. So it says that there have been more than 58 fatalities. What is very unfortunate that Yogi government said that we have created a state-of-the-art system. But the way things have happened, the chaos and the stampede, it has exposed the misgovernance. And you see just how Hema Malini and Sanjay Nisha, the kind of insensitive statements they have made. JCBs and tractors were used to dispose of the dead bodies. And Yogi Adityanath, when questioned, he's saying Sanatan ka apman kar rahe hain. Sanatan ka sabse bada apman to Yogi Adityanath unki government ne kiya hai. Because the devotees came there to be one with the deity, to earn some blessings from the Almighty. But Mr. Adityanath and gang, they created an event to use emotions for political benefits. So this is Sanatan ka apman. And the devotees who lost their lives. See, Shreya, we all have seen that it was a good 17 hours till Mr. Adityanath finally acknowledged that such an unfortunate incident has happened, and then he offered a condolence, not before that. So this just goes on to show the kind of mentality BJP has. And unfortunately, he was throwing, there was a shower of flowers from helicopter just to downplay such an incident, while there were dead bodies in morgue and there were nobody to attend them. The people were looking for their loved ones, and Mr. Adityanath was just diverting the attention. So this is the biggest Sanatan Kapan. And let me
Jasmine.
It's not only Samajwadi Party. Mahamandeleshwar Prema Anand and Shankar Acharya have asked for Mr. Adityanath's resignation. They have said VIP culture बढ़ा रहे थे. And there's this Mahamandeleshwar Swami Prabodh Anand Giriji. He has praised Azam Khan, the way Azam Khan Sahab conducted Kumbh. He said, कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई थी, आजम साहब took his टोपी और उनके चरणों में रख दी थी कि माफ करिएगा. So this is the way decent people should behave.
Also have their political alignments. We all know that. So they will say things based on their political alignment. I asked you a question about where is the proof. You haven't told me, but Jasmine Sandwalia, just come in here.
There is proof. There are sting operations all over.
Hema Malini ji is a very nice lady. अरे वो sting operation कौन करता है? Who funds those sting operations? We don't know. I do not believe in sting operations. But Jasmine Sandwalia, the fact is, sting operation में तो बिल्कुल नहीं करना चाहिए. But Jasmine Sandwalia, just come in here. You know, Hema Malini ji is a very nice lady. I've met her multiple times. But honestly, 30 people die in the Kumbh, in a stampede, and you say इतनी बड़ी बात नहीं थी that the opposition is exaggerating it. Chalo, even if the opposition is exaggerating it, even if the numbers are more than 30, is 30 a small number? Are 30 people dying not a big enough tragedy? I mean, this is your own BJP MP, and she's a 3-time MP from Mathura.
Shreya, I can voice my argument on fundamentally on one thing, and that is that I will say that leave aside 30, even one life lost is a tragedy. It is very tragic that this incident has happened, but I also want to argue on this that you yourself have said that 340 million people, devotees, have so far participated in the Mahakumbh. That is approximately the population of United States of America. Can you even fathom the logistics of controlling such a huge magnitude of population, housing them, feeding them. It is very unfortunate that this incident happened, but also understand that this is the largest religious congregation which has taken place on the face of the earth. And it is very, very unfortunate that when such congregations happen, stampedes unfortunately happen sometimes because it is very difficult to control such magnitudes of population. The first Mahakumbh held in 1954 after the independence. We unfortunately lost 800 lives in that, and 2,000 non-fatal fatalities happened. So what I'm saying is that it is very unfortunate that it has happened, but do give credit where it is due also, that 340 million devotees have gone and taken the holy dip. Once again, I say that it is unfortunate that this tragedy has happened. And for Jaya Bachchan to say that bodies were thrown is a very treacherous and a very sensational statement coming from a woman of such stature.
Jasmine, essentially the argument is, it's such a big gathering. 40 crore people are coming. Kuch na kuch to hoga. That is essentially the argument. Pichli baar bhi hua tha, 43 people had died in the stampede, and Akhilesh Yadav was the chief minister at that point. Abhi bhi hua hai.
Just to about 2013 stampede happened at a railway station because the train had changed. It had nothing to. It didn't happen actually at the Kumbh. Just to put that aside. But one life is too many. The only argument the BJP and the worthy spokesperson the BJP seems to be having is 1954 mein Nehru ji ke samay hua tha. So everything is Nehru's fault. And if it's Nehru's fault for 1954, why is it not Prime Minister Modi's fault? There you won't take Prime Minister Modi's name. Nehru ki galti 1954. And since 1954 to 2025, we've not built a new India. Prime Minister Modi should have said New India is exactly like Nehru's India. I will give the same excuses. बोल देते ना sir. आज भी तो Prime Minister Parliament में बोले, spoke about New India. He should have said, bro, New India is exactly like old India. Don't ask me questions. Ask Nehru ji. Then we would have seen if the Prime Minister would have been third time Prime Minister. The question is not that. The question is that there is lack of accountability. There was lack of communication. This incident happened 8 or 9 months before in Hathras. The person responsible is still not charge sheeted in Hathras. They are themselves the government. They themselves, Ravi Shankar Prasad ji's parliament getting up and saying conspiracy theories. Their bureaucrats are saying 16,000 mobile numbers are not switched on. That's their bureaucrats saying it. 16,000 mobile numbers. They themselves are saying hospital is full. And they themselves are giving this number, and they themselves are saying now this number is a finality. And yet you have people, I don't believe instincts, who are coming out there and finding their relatives. And I don't believe they may have died, but the relatives are not being found. So what are your AI-empowered drones doing? They can't find the relatives. So none of this has been coordinated. And just one thing, not one person should die. Nobody should die. But the 30 who lost their lives were the poorest of poor, the weakest of weak. And that is telling. The government didn't stand up for the poor. And that is sad.
Karan Verma, here's the point. The opposition, and the opposition has every right to ask questions, is asking questions of the Yogi government. They say, we don't believe your numbers. We think 1,000 people died, were killed in the stampede. You're saying 30. At least come out and give us the official number, the real number. What is Yogi Adityanath's response to that? They have taken a supari against Sanatan. How is questioning the Yogi government taking a supari against Sanatan?
Shreya, you should ask the toughest questions to the Yogi government, but you should not resort to sensationalism that thousands have died or there are dead bodies floating in the waters, as Jaya Bachchan said. This is what is taking a dig at Sanatan, that the holy waters in which people are still going and taking a dip, there are dead bodies floating around. So that is the context in which Yogi Adityanath said. But you know, to jog everyone's memory, we need data to say something wrong happened really there. Were the CCTVs not functioning? Was there not adequate manpower? Did the AI drones not function? What really went wrong? Ask those questions. Just as the CAG in 2014 tabled a report and said that 59% of the construction works were not completed. The tragedy happened because of the lack of cooperation between the railways and could have been improved had the local agencies acted promptly. There were not enough ambulances. There were not enough fire department vehicles on board. So you need to come up with those facts rather than resorting to sensationalism as Kharge ji or Jaya Bachchan or Ram Gopal Yadav have resorted. This is a sensitive hour. At least show some sensitivity. The Yogi government hasn't given an exact number initially because there were very serious injuries. 26 were identified out of the 30. 4 have still not been identified. There are some who are missing. 60 are grievously injured, out of which 24 by God's grace have been now discharged. So these are sensitive times. Let's not resort to sensationalism. Let's ask questions. If we find a case of mismanagement and corroborate it with data, let's not shoot in the dark, at least at this point of time.
Okay, but you're talking about sensitivity and show sensitivity. Hema Malini should have done the same.
She should have.
30 people dead and you're saying it's not such a bad deal? Yeah, she should
Absolutely.
have. Tessin, I have 10 seconds. Go ahead.
And I completely agree with Karan. Let's not sensationalize it. But Ravi Shankar Prasad ji standing up in Parliament and saying that it's a conspiracy and we think it's some sort of a conspiracy. You are in centre, you are in the state more than 10 years, you are in Parliament and you are saying it's a conspiracy. So who's responsible? Akhilesh Yadav, Rahul Gandhi for the conspiracy. So resign if you can't run the country.
Okay, we leave it there. We got everyone's point of view in. Tessin, thank you very much. Karan, thank you. Jasmine ji, thank you. Tessin, as I said, thank you again. And Faizan Kidwai, good to have you on the show. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, a quick wrap. My colleague Shreya Dhoundial is joining you up next with all the top stories of the day at the top of 9 o'clock. Do stay with us.